Can I build e-commerce stores in Framer that scale? Well, today the answer is yes. In this 3-part crash course series, we're going to build a full store using Shopify and Framer together. And the best part is there's zero compromise and zero code. Let's go. So this is quite a large build, but we'll break this down into 3 videos and 7 simple steps. First, we'll sync our Shopify store to Framer. Next, we'll display all our live Shopify data on our store pages, all in Framer. Then we'll cover connecting product variants, so we can sell things with different sizes, colors, and more. After that, we'll set up our cart and checkout experience so we can actually start generating sales. We'll even cover how to add personalized upsell experiences directly in your cart. Then we'll build our collection pages, adding dynamic filtering so visitors can find the perfect product for them. And lastly, we'll cover adding support for multi-currency with Shopify markets, so we can sell our product in multiple countries. By the way, if you want to follow along with this tutorial, you'll find the remix link for this entire project in the description. Okay, so here I am inside of Framer, and I basically just have the bones of a project set up. There's no content connected here. It looks like an e-commerce store, but nothing's actually functioning. We've just kind of built the layout. So what we're going to do today is actually connect Shopify to actually start adding some of that functionality. So to do this, we're actually going to use the Frameship plugin. So I'm going to hit Command K on my keyboard and we're going to open Frameship. Now let's open up the plugin here and we're going to go connect Shopify and follow the steps. So the first thing we need to do is actually install the Shopify headless app, which is going to help create that connection and let us sync some of our content from Shopify over to the Framer CMS. So click on open and it's basically going to install that app for you. And now what you can do is click on Add Storefront inside of Shopify. Now go down to Storefront API and click on Manage. And basically we just want to make sure that a bunch of these permissions are checked. In particular, unauthenticated read product listings and unauthenticated read selling plans. Great. Now what we need to do is actually copy this public access token. So we're going to copy that ID here and we're going to go back to the Frameship plugin and paste it in. Now we also need to connect our Shopify store URL. So if I go back to Shopify here, go to settings, you can usually find it here. So I can see the link is right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that link. We'll go back to Framer and paste it in and we'll click on connect my store. Okay, so it looks like it is successfully connected. Now the other thing we need to do is actually create a collection here to sync over that content. So it automatically creates a new collection and we just have to click on sync. Now, before we actually sync the products, let's actually go to Shopify and actually look at what data we're actually bringing in. So if I go to my products here, you can see all the different products that we actually have inside of Shopify. Now, these products actually live and will stay inside of Shopify. Our goal is actually to sync that data over to Framer so we can actually build the front-end e-commerce part in Framer, but keep the whole checkout experience still in Shopify. So to do this, we're actually going to select all these products here. We're going to go to the 3 dots and we're going to make sure that we include in sales channel. Now we can select the headless app that we have here. And this is just going to guarantee that these products are going to be synced over correctly. So now let's actually go back to Framer and we'll click on sync products. Okay, and there we go. Now you can see inside of my CMS, I have all of my content from Shopify. And this is essentially how we can now display things on the canvas. Just like any other CMS in Framer, I could say drag in a collection list. And just like that, you can see we now have all the relevant content from my products in Shopify. So let's demonstrate this and the functionality alongside it by actually creating a product page. So we'll go and create a new page here and we'll create a new CMS page for our products collection, which is going to be a detail page. Now, by default, you'll kind of get all of this information and all the fields getting pulled through. We can just delete this for now. And since I saved this a little bit of time, I've actually created this section already that I want to use. So I'm actually just going to select this section and we're going to paste it in here just like so. And we'll add some padding at the top just so we can see our breadcrumb menu. So we'll increase that ever so slightly. Okay, great. So now we can actually start syncing some of that content to our CMS to display that Shopify data. So for example, if we want to display the product name, I could select the text title here, go down to content, look for the little plus, which means we can actually connect that to a field in the CMS. Click that plus, go set variable, and we'll set that to be the title. Same with the description here, we can set that as well. So we'll go to the content, set the variable, and let's set it to be the SEO page description. And if I change the page here or the product, you can see that is actually updating here, which is super nice. Now we can also update the image here as well. So if I set the variable to be, say, image number 1, now you can see we're getting a preview of that actual image. But where things get really powerful is where we actually use Frameship to add this extra functionality, such as adding a cart or even making this image grid a little bit more interactive. So let's open up the Frameship plugin once again. So if we go to components, there are a ton of different components that we can explore here. The first one I'm actually going to drag in is going to be for our gallery. So I'm going to drag in the smart image gallery and I'm going to replace what I have here currently. So we'll just remove that image and we'll set the width of this one to be fill and we'll set the height to be, say, 600 pixels. Now, inside of this component, there's a few things that we actually need to map. Now, the Frameship components are really powerful because it lets us add all the different functionality that we need. For example, we can add our carts, we can display our price, we can have a quantity input counter. There's a ton of different stuff that we can do here to actually enable our e-commerce functionality. However, we still need to link that to the CMS. Now, there is some content in Shopify that actually gets pulled through dynamically. For example, the stock inventory. Let's say this product has a certain amount of stock. Well, that's going to update in real time as customers purchase from your store. So actually connecting all of these fields before actually customizing this component will actually allow us to make this true connection to Shopify. So when it says Shopify data, we just need to connect this variable to Shopify data. And if it says variant image mapping, we're just going to connect that to, you guessed it, variant image mapping. Now, if we scroll down here, we can also connect all of the different images that we have here as well. And again, this is all being pulled from Shopify, which is being imported to your CMS and then being displayed on the Framer canvas. So we'll go through and we'll just select all of these images and connect them to the relevant field inside of the CMS. So we have a total of 5 images. Great. So when I preview this, now we've got this nifty little component. I can kind of zoom in like the expected functionality of an e-commerce site, and I can even switch the preview image. So let's say we go to another product. Let's go to the cotton on pajamas. You can see it switches. If we go to the marble, it switches there too. The denim jeans, it is all kind of working as we expected, which is exactly what we want. So let's go back and actually show the inventory. So what we'll do is open up Frameship once again. We'll go to components. We'll go to our product and we'll find the inventory label. Now I'm just going to drag this onto the page here. And just like before, we want to make sure that we connect the Shopify data. So we'll connect that to Shopify data here. And what we're going to do is actually just publish our website and update that. Okay, so on the actual live website, you can see we've actually got the inventory actually showing here, and this will update dynamically as your stock level changes. So inside of Framer, we can style this just like anything else. So let's actually change the font here to say instrument serif. Let's add this inside its own stack, set the width to be fit content, maybe add some outside padding, and let's actually give it a border as well. Let's set it to be, say, the light gray, and increase the radius. Now, this is great and all, but we actually need a way for someone to check out and actually have a cart that kind of works. So to do this, what we can do is firstly add the cart to our website. Now, we will add this in the navbar at the top right. So I'm actually going to click into my component, which has my navbar, and we'll open up the Frameship plugin once again. So we'll go to Frameship here. We'll go down to components. we'll go to our cart and we're just going to drag in this cart component. So we'll click on insert. Now we'll cover in the next lesson of this crash course exactly how this cart works and how we can customize it, add upsells and so much more. But just for now, we're going to go in here. We're going to double click. We're going to unlink and replace all. And we're going to update the styling of this cart. Now, this cart is very powerful, which we will get to, but for now, let's just update some of the styling. So let's actually go ahead here, set the border radius to be quite high. Let's set the background color to be white, and maybe we set the text color to be, say, a black. Okay, great. So now we've got the sort of cart component installed. But when we preview this, you'll notice that it kind of works. It shows a bit of a pop-out, but there's no actual way to actually add an item to our cart. So to do this, we'll again open the Frameship plugin. We'll go to Components. We'll go to Products, and we'll drag in the Add to Cart button. So I'm just going to put that here inside of my frame. We'll set the width to be 100%, and let's set the height to be 45 pixels. Now again, let's connect the Shopify data field. So we'll connect that to Shopify data so everything stays in sync. And then we can change the styling here as well. Now, I'm not really feeling an icon, so I'm just going to hide that. And let's go into styling. Let's set the border radius to be 0. And let's change the text color to be white and also the font as well. Let's make it instrument serif. And let's say make it a little bit bigger. Okay, great. So now let's preview our website again. And this time, when I actually click on Add to Cart, it's going to pop out that cart and it's going to add that item to the cart. Now, it's worth noting too, what's in Framer Preview is actually different to what's on your published website. They are technically completely different tools and we should treat them like so. So when we test out this sort of like real core functionality, we should actually just update our website and test it there. So now when I click on Add to Cart on my live website, you can see that item actually gets added to my cart. And if I say increase the quantity, the price is also changing here as well. And this is basically how it works. So when I actually click on checkout, it's actually going to send that checkout to our Shopify store. Now, my Shopify store is password protected, so I'm not actually going to be able to fully check out. But basically, we're sending all of that cart information directly to Shopify to complete that entire checkout. Okay, but we're not done here yet because there's a few extra things that we can add. For example, we might want to add a quantity counter so people can add more than, say, just one item to their cart at a time. So we've got this quantity input component here, and I'm just going to drag this in. And what we'll do is set the styling to be a little bit different. So first, before we do that, let's set Shopify data to be Shopify data. Let's go down into input styling. Set that to be 0. And let's also go ahead and set the background color to be white. Now we can also add a plus and minus button. So if I just duplicate this component, switch it to be to the plus, do one more, switch it to be to the minus. Then we can select both of these and change the styling at the same time. So set the radius to be 0 and change the background color to be white. Great. Now let's change the positioning of these. And we're going to wrap them all inside of their own stack with direction on. And we'll set the width to be fit content. Now, inside of this stack, we'll call it our quantity. What we'll do is we'll add a border and let's select a color here. Okay, that's looking pretty good, but I kind of want it to sit next to my add to cart button. So I'll grab this quantity frame and my add to cart button. I'll wrap them inside of their own stack too. We'll set direction to be horizontal. And now we've kind of got this overflowing issue. So we'll actually set the width of this add to cart button to be fill. So it takes up the remaining space. And since we have a fixed height on this add to cart button, we need to do something similar on these buttons here as well. So we'll just change the width and height to say 45 pixels. And I reckon we can reduce that gap ever so slightly as well. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's just increase the space between some of these elements just for the moment. And there we go. So again, let's publish our website and actually try this out. Okay, so we have our add to cart button. I can increase the quantity. So let's say I want to add 3 items to my cart. Currently, I already have 3 items in my cart, but if I click on add to cart, then you'll notice it's going to update to 6 items. So all of that is working. Okay, so let's recap. We've successfully synced Shopify to Framer, and we're now displaying our products on the canvas. In part 2, we're going to display our product variants, finish off our cart and checkout, and even add a personalized upsell experience. By the way, if you want to duplicate this project, I've included the remix for free in the description. And if you enjoyed this video and want more Framer tutorials just like it, subscribe to the channel because we put out new videos every single week. And as a reminder, we're using the Frameship plugin to actually enable e-commerce on our website, and you can grab the link for that down below. And if you want to master Framer, like truly master it, check out my Ultimate Framer Masterclass. It's my A to Z course to master Framer. There's over 100 lessons, 10 hours of content, and even a plugin to teach you Framer in Framer. But until next time, I'll catch you later.